Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Uncensored Critic podcast. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. It means a lot to me. Thank you so very much. And today we have a brilliant return guest, someone who I've been dying to have back on the show ever since our talk last time. And of course, that is a stage manager extraordinaire, a writer, an advocate for mental health in the industry, someone who's toured all around the globe with some of the biggest shows in the theatre, a member of the Prima Facie team that's still helping people around the world to this very moment with its current 2026 tour, which she joins me live from Edinburgh during their run, as well as a lover of the arts in general. It's a big welcome back to the indomitable, the brilliant, the inspiring Georgia Bird, also known as G Bird. How are you, Georgia?
Wow, what an intro. That was amazing. I'm really good, thank you.
Yeah.
I am going to apologize to everyone for my husky voice. We have been touring, we've been doing this now for 5-6 weeks, so I'm getting a little bit tired in my voice.
Yeah, as always, I appreciate your time and thank you for joining me in such a busy time. I know things are really crazy right now, so I appreciate it.
Oh no, it's a pleasure to be back. I love having a chat with you. So yeah, I'm ready for it.
Right, let's go, man. So I suppose the first question is kind of appropriate, actually. The very first question for return guests is simply this: how have you been?
Really good. As most people will know, this is my first show back in the stage management world since going and working for Empire Street. So yeah, it's been amazing. I feel so fired up inside me to be back doing this role. So I feel like I'm waking up every morning on cloud nine. So yeah, I'm really good.
Yeah, what's it like stepping back into stage management after a couple of years?
I mean, it took me a couple of weeks to get back into it. I think I was sacked in the rehearsal room about 5 times during the 2 weeks because my brain was, just tiny little things. They were like, "You're sacked, get out." So just kind of getting back into the groove of it. And I think the one thing that really sort of hit me was the body clock. I've now been working in office hours. I get home, I'm in bed by 9. Whereas here, we're sort of, after a show, as everybody knows, you're sort of on a level and on a high. So you're not going to bed until midnight, and my body's kind of going, "What's going on?"
Yeah, I'm not used
So
to it.
no, not used to it at all. So I'm now sort of like, sliding back into that.
Yeah, I suppose it's old. I suppose old habits starting to come back. It's good old habits, by the way. And I remember us talking last time about you did shows like The Inheritance, where like I know you've got a 2-show day. Funny enough, in fact, today, with Prima Facie, but where those 2-show days of 8 hours long, and you're getting home at you're leaving the theatre about 11:30, and then you're getting home at midnight, probably 11:30. I mean, so what's it like for your body to is your body kind of remembering those habits quickly, or is it a bit like, whoa, hang on a minute?
No, it was whoa.
Yeah.
And I think, there is, we have a wonderful drama therapist that works on the production with us called Bria King. And a lot of my conversations with her are about how to, hold my stamina and make sure that I'm able to last an entire week. And so, I've been putting in lots of practices of making sure that when I get up in the morning, I'm just spending a bit of time on my own, doing some breathing, regulating my nervous system,
Nice.
fitting in a massage every week, just to make sure that I'm bringing myself down on those days off. It's just really important, I think, when you're going on tour, especially as a company stage manager, because you're kind of doing a couple of roles, that you are just taking that time for yourself, even if you're in for hours and hours of just kind of going, right, even if it's 5 minutes, just take that 5 minutes, go sit quietly, take that time. So yeah, I've just been making sure I'm doing that for my body.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my brain.
Yeah, no. I think it's so important, like, to have those rest periods, and people understand that you've got to rest. Is one thing I've learned actually as I get older, is that rest is actually really important. You might not be doing anything, but you're actually doing a lot more for yourself than you think, which is regulating yourself. Because, I mean, for God's sake, we're not robots, are we?
No,
No,
that would be much easier.
No. And in this world of AI, let's not get into that conversation.
No, let's not do that.
No. So yeah, I think the first thing really to sort of jump into, because again, as I mentioned in the intro, you're on the road with Jodie and the team and everyone for Prima Facie for part 2 of this, part 3 actually, of this incredible show. You did it first in London in 2022, then on Broadway 2023, and now you're back in 2026. So what's it like stepping back into the rehearsal room? What's it like getting the gang back together?
Oh, well, we have basically got the band back together. I mean, there are a few people missing, and we miss them terribly. But getting back into that rehearsal room with Justin and Jodie and the rest of the team was, my heart burst on the first day, just walking in and seeing everybody and going, we're doing this again. And I think a lot of people on the show would agree with me that, you know, the environment that's been created on the show is like nothing else, nothing we've ever experienced before. Yeah. And so you immediately kind of walk in and go, oh yeah, this is where we're going. This is so exciting. I think what was so beautiful is, you know, since we first did the show, it's been 4 years. We've all grown as people. We've all changed. The show's affected us. The show's changed us. Life has changed us. And so we came back into this room with a new dynamic and a new thought process of who we are now and what that means doing this show again. But it's also, you know, Justin is a genius. And I just loved watching the two of them work together. It's been so special because I know that this is probably going to be the last time that we're all going to be together.
Nice.
So we've all just sort of sat in that and absorbed it on a daily basis and gone, let's just take every moment.
Enjoy every single moment while we can.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, did it feel like, you always have I've had a few of these conversations recently where people like say, oh, do you remember this? And it happened maybe 4, 5, 10, 20 years ago, but they go, yeah, but I tell you what, it still feels like yesterday. Like, does 2022 and that first day of rehearsals, did that feel like yesterday when you walked in on the first day?
Yeah, I think you go, oh my God, I can't remember anything about the show. Like, what did we do here? What was that? And actually, when you get to it, you go, oh my God, no, it's still in there.
Yeah.
I think that's the same for everybody. I think it's the same for Jodie, for Justin, for the stage management team, for everyone working on it that's been doing it before. It syncs up and then it sort of grows and grows and grows. And you're like, yes. Especially, you know, we were Kari and I, who's my ASM on the show, we were both going, where were these props placed on the table? Do we remember for each scene and setup? But actually, no, it just completely comes back to you.
Yeah, I think we were talking before we came on about, funny enough, I heard on good authority that, because you opened in Richmond, didn't you, in January? And I remember Justin actually came out on stage and said, hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for coming. We're very, very happy to see you all. But just that, you know, this is our first night back. We have done some previews, but some things we're still working out. So if you see Georgia, she's our great stage manager. She might come on stage and might have a little show stuff every now and then. So hopefully not, but if not, just be warned. And I think, I assume any of the audience was like, yeah, go for it. Fine.
Yeah, sure, whatever. We'll just take what we got. I mean, I think it was really important to sort of let the audience know that, you know, we did 2 weeks of rehearsals, which was an intense period of, you know, working 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And then we went into Richmond and we had 3 days before we had our first performance. And the first one that Justin came out was the first time we'd done it in 2 years in front of an audience. So there were no previews before. That was it. We were just straight in, first show,
no pressure.
Up and running. No pressure to anyone. And also, you know, as I said, we've got a lot of new people that have joined the team, and that was the first time we were putting that show together as a whole. And so it was just important to sort of highlight that and to say, you know, even though we are all operating to the best of our ability and a higher standard, there will always be something that could happen.
Of course.
Luckily,
touch wood.
Well, I'm saying touch wood, but it's happened a few times. We didn't in Richmond have to stop the show, but we have had a couple of show stops since that point. So myself has made it out on stage a few times.
Hey.
Getting me own deserved round of applause, she said.
Yeah. It's your 5 minutes, isn't it?
Yes, I am. Yes, I do actually really enjoy going on stage.
Yeah, I remember I was talking last time, maybe saying that I'm one of the stage managers who loves going out on stage. I think it's great. Yeah. So what happened? Did the suitcase hit the glass and again, did it smash all over the floor?
No, totally different things this time. More technical stuff, unfortunately. So it wasn't actually really anything that was going on stage. But obviously, setting up a new venue with different things. We've just had a few technical hiccups along the way. Okay. And so, you know, it's down to me in an artistic way and a safety way for me to say, no, we need to stop the show and just try and figure out what's gone wrong. Excuse me. But I decided when I came back on tour I think I've talked about him before. My company stage manager that taught me everything used to wear a tux on stage every night.
Mm.
And so I thought, if I'm coming back into theatre again in stage management, I'm going to do the same. So I bought myself a full tux, and it's gone down very well when I've gone down on
Nice.
stage.
Yeah. So that
I think
explains it.
that's got me a round of applause rather than me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Was that Howard Jepson you were modeling yourself on?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember you saying last time. But yeah, that explains it because I've seen a few because there's a few Instagram pages of Prima Facie tour, etc. And there's some great videos and pictures of Jodie coming out the stage door and everything, and you're just like behind her, making sure she's okay and all that stuff. That explains why you're wearing the suit outside the stage door as well. So I was like, oh, that's why. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, no, that's an interesting idea, actually, because because the status that Jodie has, and there's a team around everything, and and you go outside and everything, and obviously about 99% of the time when you go and meet fans, everyone's really, really lovely. Everyone's saying, "Oh, fantastic performance! Really love your work. I loved you in Killing Eve." Blah blah blah. Blah. But have you ever had any of those experiences where you've had to like really watch out for Jodie or anything like that, or has it actually been really, really fine?
I mean, everywhere we go, we have a supportive theatre, we have a supportive team that are there to sort of, really back us up and look after us. But no, everybody that comes to see the show has a massive respect for what we're doing. And I think we've worked really hard to ensure that the space backstage is very safe and
Mm,
supported for one another.
of
But
course.
also that also goes out into the audience. And I think I've never I've never been part of a production where that has leaked so much into the audience. And so therefore they feel seen, they feel safe, and therefore the respect comes back in those moments. And so everybody just wants to express their love for the show and express their thanks for us being able to create that space for them. So
Mm,
there is just this beautiful mutual respect. So no,
brilliant.
it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, that's what you want at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So, just thinking about it, I've interviewed like other members of the team and everything, and
Mhm.
I didn't ask you this question actually, and I've just thought about it a few days ago. So, having been with the character of Tessa for so long, I mean, who is she to you? Who's your interpretation of Tessa? Who is she to you?
Gosh, I think she's every person that I have met along the way that has had a story to tell.
Hmm.
As I said to you last time, the first time I spoke to you was probably the first time I'd spoken about the entire experience and what that has meant for me.
Mm,
And coming back off of that and rejoining again, there were those feelings of um, having absorbed a huge amount of trauma and other people's trauma around the show,
I bet. Yeah.
which can bring a bit of a heaviness to yourselves. And that's why we have someone like Rabria for me to be able to put that
Mm,
and to be able to deal with that. And so I think Tessa is that person who I've met at stage door. It's my colleague, it's my own personal experience of sexual assault. It's not just one person. I think it is massively every single person I know who has shared that experience. And actually, when we were in Richmond on the Saturday night, we'd obviously done a very long week, so I was very tired, but equally, um, I was reminded of that. I stood backstage and I looked at every single person that I was working with and thinking, this is us. This
wow.
is a story that we are telling that is part of our own personal story. And it's very rare that you get to have that strong connection with a character.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, I don't know what to say, Georgie.
It's yeah, it's a very special piece, and I think everybody who has been a part of this will feel the same.
Yeah.
Is we all know someone, whether it's your friend, your colleague, your
Yeah.
sister, or even your brother, who has been through some sort of
Mm,
experience, and so therefore you see them in
yeah.
the character.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, well, I know this is a very generic thing to say, and I don't mean it to be generic at all, but I'm so sorry you had that experience. you know, and
No,
obviously,
thank you.
I'm not going to ask you the details because that'd be so inappropriate. So don't tell me. But all I will say is that, yeah, again, I know it's generic, but I'm so sorry you had that experience, you know, and
Thank you.
nobody deserves that. Nobody
No,
deserves that at all. And again, it shows you that this play, it's still. I've had one question for today was like, are you still like, what stories have you heard for the second leg? And I know you just said that. I'm sure you probably had people thankfully, and obviously you've got to protect yourself and make sure you're not taking on too much stuff because I know what it's like to absorb too much bad energy. And next thing you know, you're down in the dumps and you're thinking, well, first of all, none of this stuff is actually mine. It's not for me to actually to deal with. And third of all, it's like, oh, well, this is making me unhappy. So why the fuck am I doing it?
yeah,
Of course you want to be there for people, of course. But, and I want to say just very quickly, I mean, I take my hat off to, it was what was the name of that lady who's been with you? Like your kind of
we're
therapist?
Bria.
Bria, yeah, people like her and therapists just in general. I mean, I couldn't do that job. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But and my respect for them just went through the roof and everything. But I'll just remind you of I'll tell a very very quick story if I may. So did you
Sure.
see? Obviously, it might be a silly question, but you see an Inter alia, right? Susie,
Yes.
yes, fantastic play. Rosamund Pike, what a performance.
Mm.
Yeah, I took some friends of mine to go and see it, and one member of the party was, he's not a big theatre fan. He's just kind of, he knows the theatre exists, but he doesn't go to it very often. But I said, no, come and see this play. I think you're enjoying. Oh, okay, fine. So he came to see it, and there's the twist of Inter alia. I won't give it away, but it's similar to Prima Facie, but it's kind of on the other side of it, if that makes sense. It's the other.
Yeah.
It's the yeah. I won't say anymore, but it's not the person. The victim is off stage the whole time and is alluded to a lot. That's all I'll say. And we
Yeah.
are dealing with the perpetrator. And afterwards, we came out and we were just in absolute. I was like, I'd already seen it. I managed to get a ticket to go and see it at the National, and I looked around them and I thought, so what did you think? And they were all just like, first of all, they were like, "How the fuck did Rosamund Pike learn all those lines?" And second of all, the guy who I just say like wasn't around the theatre much just looked at me and went, "Yeah, I just stopped two of my friends from doing that."
Mm.
And you're like, "Seriously?" "Yeah, I just remembered I just
Mm.
stopped two of my friends from doing that back in the day." And I was like, "Wow,
Yeah.
yeah, and
I think
yeah." Go on.
I think that's what Prima Facie and Inter alia do. They're so different in terms of how you feel at the end of the show, what emotion they leave you with. But both of them highlight those situations that we've all been in when we've been growing up. And I think that is such an important thing to recognize and
Yeah,
to be honest about, and to not be worried about saying, do you know what, I think my behavior, or I think some of the decisions that I made weren't necessarily right, and acknowledging that and moving forward, and knowing that you're moving forward in a way that is not only educating yourself but then educating people around you. And none of these stories are here to highlight people who are wrong and to be pointing the finger and bringing out blame. I think the point of it is to have a conversation with one another and to say, I admit I haven't behaved well in the past, or I admit, I've made those decisions, but now I'm able to have that conversation with myself and say, how would I now do that differently? Or how
yeah,
would I talk to my nieces or my children or my friends, or, and offer that advice to be supportive. And I think what I've been so blessed with on this is the fact that we have a sisterhood, which I've talked
yeah,
about before, that's
yeah,
backstage. And that for me has highlighted so much more in my life of recognizing that a sisterhood isn't just the people that you know. It's the strangers that you walk past on the street. It's the woman you see crying on the tube. It's somebody you see being bothered in a bar. And you, as a stranger, have every right to go and check on that person. And we should be doing that more. And, our sense of community in our society has been diminishing as the years go by with, everything that is going on in the world.
yeah.
And I think the one thing we as people need to remember is that our connection is the most important thing. That what we do for one another, how we support each other, how we say hello, how we recognize somebody,
Yeah.
and how we listen is so important. and it is the best thing about our lives. It's the best thing about living.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can just get so channeled into our own lives and everything that we're doing that we forget about that. And actually the joys are
Mm.
connecting with somebody and having that moment together.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah,
Mm.
I remember a time when I just remember this now actually. I remember getting off the train one day and I remember I was with my brother and we just walked outside. This was about midnight, so I was just trying to get my phone out and get an Uber. Like I just need let's just wait for an Uber to get home. And I remember looking to my right, and there was a girl sat on the wall outside the station, and she was just. I remember, like you said, they're crying on the tube, but this girl was in floods of tears, and a
Mm.
part of me was like, what do I do? Do I leave her alone or something? And then another part of me thought, I remember thinking, if I was in that position, I think someone just asked me if I'm okay. That means a world of good. So, I mean, I'd had a few drinks at that point. It'd been a late night, but
Yeah.
I went over to her, and that was probably the alcohol giving me the courage there. But I went over to her and I said, "Sorry, darling, are you okay?" And she went, and she was in floods of tears, and she was like, "Yeah, yeah, my fellas, I've just found out my boyfriend's been cheating on me for a long
Mm.
time," and I was like. And I just made it up on the spot. I didn't really know what to say, but I was just like I said to my brain, just give me something, anything. And he was like, okay, here's something. And I said, well, I'm so sorry to hear that. He doesn't deserve you. You're a beautiful girl. You don't deserve any of that. And I really, really hope you do find happiness. And
Oh.
she hugged me and everything. And I waited for her until she got her taxi, and then I saw her get in a cab and then go home and stuff. And I just thought, oh,
Well,
okay.
I bet you changed her night. Like that's the thing is,
I
I
hope so.
think she's probably gone home and gone, do you know what? Someone actually does care.
Yeah.
And that's the message and the important thing when you have a conversation with someone like that is just to make them feel that they're not alone.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It was just instinct, really. I just thought, no, if,
Mm.
like I say, if I was in that situation, I think it would mean the world to me, knowing that, like you say, and it's true. Not everyone's bad. Not everyone's bad.
No.
There are some fuckers out there, but
Of
thankfully,
course.
yeah, thankfully, the good always outweighs the bad, always. And I think that's good to just
Yeah,
remember that. But
definitely. And people make mistakes,
of
we're all
course,
human.
yeah,
We all do things that, we regret, or we do things that probably, you wouldn't make those decisions now. But that's why we, fail and get back up again and do it again.
exactly,
And
exactly.
I think,
Yeah, I
we
can't.
shouldn't ever be ashamed of that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how much dumb shit I've done in my life. I've done a lot of it, but
Me too.
yeah, honestly, I look back on some things. I'm like, why did I think that was a good idea? Oh, never mind. Anyway, I'm stronger now for it. That's the important thing. But I think, yeah, another question for today was about because just the play, like obviously you've been with it for a long time and you've heard the lines again, again, and again and again. You've seen it ran again, but are you still like you're still discovering new things about the play
Mm.
now? I mean, do you think that's a fair thing to say? You're still making new discoveries even after 4 years?
Definitely. And I think that was what was so exciting about being in rehearsals again, is Jodie and Justin had so many ideas about the detail that we wanted to go into, things that we
Mm,
wanted to explore within the certain characters or certain scenes. And, um, I've seen, as you say, I've seen every iteration of it. And I think every single time we've been able to expand and explore the story that Tessa is telling and the people that she is incorporating into that story.
mm.
And, for me, this time, Alice has become hilarious. Alice is one of her friends in the chambers.
Mm.
And it's
Oh
just
yeah.
these tiny little things of, posture or vocally of just like bringing that person to life in a very different way than we've done before.
Mm.
And so there are parts of the show now that I find hilarious that
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
probably wasn't laughing at before. So yeah, I think we're finding new things all the time. And, when we've done the show originally, just from a technical and stage management side of things, of what we're finding is that we used to have the folders were all automated. So they would all be fly out on a button, set at a certain speed every time. But now they're all manually flown.
Mm.
So we have somebody from the theatre at each venue who is our head flyman, and then myself. Roisin, who's our tech sween, and Ellie, who's our follow spot, all come together in this one moment and basically create that, that scene change. And everything in that moment is so specific because of what is actually happening on stage in that moment. And so we have found a real beauty in trying to recreate what an automated thing does, an automated system does, to a manual flying. And so we're all getting into the speed and the sort of vibe of that moment of the show. And that's something that I've stepped into and learned this time, which has been really beautiful. Just to be experienced, and it's different every theatre we're going to because you're meeting different people. And but yeah, it's been really, really exciting to do something different in that way.
Yeah, and I think it's good also that this play does make you laugh as well. You've got the scene in the when she first goes there, it's like, you are the creme de la creme. She actually said that. And you're like,
Yeah.
and there's that laugh initially, and then there's is it Alice who sits next to her? She goes, the girl next to me has a haircut that screams private school.
Mia.
Mia, that's right, Mia. Yeah, and then I looked at the boy to my left, Benedict. Of course, he's called Benedict. Yeah,
so many good lines.
So many very good lines. Yeah, funny enough, this past week I actually saw Suzie do the James Bierman's podcast live at Soho. I was there for the live recording and everything, and I met Suzie and everything. It was a brilliant time. Met James as well. He's a cool guy. And I think I remember Suzie actually saying that before the there's a bit of a melancholic moment, or ironic moment, I think, in the play, is that when she goes back to Julian's house. Sorry, guys, spoiler if you haven't seen the play. There's a moment where she goes to Julian's house and she's vomiting in the toilet. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because the way that Jodie plays it, I think, is really funny. And she's like, she's like, we've all been there at some point. I'm sure we all have. And everyone's laughing, everyone's had a good time. But Suzie actually said during the show that she said, I always close my eyes at that moment. And people are like, why? And they said, because I know what's coming next. And and I've been in I've lucky enough to seen it. I'm going to really expose myself here now. I've probably seen it in the cinema probably about 5 or 6 times now.
Yeah.
And because I just every time I see it, like I say, I see something new every time as well. But I always look around me when that scene's happening, and these guys are like, "Oh, well, she's playing the vomiting so well. She's doing very good." And I'm like, "Okay, just brace yourselves, guys. Just brace yourselves. You know what's coming next." But and it's so. What happens next happens, and then you see their reactions, and for the rest of the play, they're like, and then by the end, where you see the injustice of it as well, and of course, which people know about, which we talked about last time as well. It really leaves you with this thing. I was listening to Justin's episode that we did together actually, and he said we have a naive belief that theatre can change the world, and I said to him, yeah, of course it does, Justin. Of course. He goes, yeah, well, we hope so, but it absolutely does. I mean, do you feel like the reaction's been stronger this time, second time round?
You're getting me quite emotional actually, because I really do think theatre, when it's done in the right way, can change the world.
Yeah,
and
the right way, for sure.
And it can really it really makes an impact in people's lives. And I think doing it again, a lot of people who are coming to see it have been wanting to see it for 4 years, but haven't been able to afford both the train to get to London or the flight to get to Broadway, the hotel and the accommodation, and the ticket to go and see the theatre. And so it is, to travel from Edinburgh, from Dublin, from all of these different cities that we're going to, the added extra cost on top of just going to buy a theatre ticket for people like you and I who live in London and have access to that.
Yeah, we're very lucky. Very lucky.
We are, but meeting those people, meeting everyone at stage door and listening and hearing that of going, you bringing this to our city means that we have access to this story. Yeah. And this story now also becomes ours. And, every time that we've taken it to places, I've felt that. I felt that, in New York, it became their story. And so every city we're going to, it is becoming that. And that is something that is I mean, you just can't really describe what that means.
No, no.
And what it feels to know that that is giving people such an incredible opportunity to witness something that is healing, that is phenomenal in terms of the performance and the show itself, but also to be able to feel part of the community that we've built around the show. And that's what we've wanted that to spread far and wide, and for everybody to feel a part of that. There is not one person that shouldn't be able to come and see the show and feel comfortable releasing anything that they're withholding, and be able to, use the opportunity to heal from their experiences.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely one of those ones that, yeah, I think I said this on a previous episode, but you know, I think it was Claudia Winkleman actually covered for Graham Norton one night for his show, and Toby Jones was on, and of course Toby was part of the brilliant BBC show, Mr. Bates versus the Post Office. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember her saying that, I'm stealing this from Claudia here, but she said, like, and she said, I think Toby's one of those actors who doesn't really like people like giving him too much praise or something like that. But she said, look, I'm going to praise you, so buckle up. And she said, look, every now and then comes lightning rod television, or in your case, lightning rod theatre, where it's remembered. You strike a chord or a nerve in the populace, and people go, not only is it human and part of our experience, but it's something that needs to be talked about. Like in Toby's case, the injustice of the post office and the technology, and how they all covered it up and everything, saying no, it wasn't our fault. It wasn't. No, it was entirely your fault. It was entirely your fault.
Yeah.
You owe all these people money, and there's people who have died tragically by their own hands. Because of what happened. And in your case, you're helping people tell stories. And I want to do a quick shout out to Mandy as well. Prima
Hey,
Facie.
Mandy.
Hey, Mandy, how you doing? For Prima Facie Players on Instagram. Who I know, she wrote a little thing for for your new program, didn't she?
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Yeah, which she put on Instagram, and I've read and everything, and it's a beautiful piece. I want to shout out her in some ways, because I remember in that article she opened up about her own experiences as well, and how she talks about how she held a stranger's hand towards the end of that play, the end of the performance that she saw and everything. So, yeah, I mean, but on top of all this, I know we talk about some deep stuff today, but what this play conjures up. But at the same time, it must be I look at you guys and think it must be such a privilege to be a part of something like this. You're changing the fucking world, Georgie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's such a privilege. And, for all the heaviness that we're talking about, we have so much fun. I mean, you have to bring a lightness to the work. Otherwise, we wouldn't get through a day, let alone an 8-week tour in 8 different cities. So, the team that are built around this, and let me just talk through who that team is, because I think one of the things I really wanted to talk about today was actually how the show is run, and how as a team we come together every single day to make it happen. So there's myself, who's the company stage manager, and then we have Jasmine Hay, who's the deputy stage manager. She is what I call the pilot of the show. And then we have Kari Lindsay Smith, who's the ASM book cover. Kari is the one that sets the show up every single day on stage and manages all the props. And then I have Jem Johnston. They are our sound number one. So they're really important in terms of, having that relationship with how the show sounds from up front. Then we've got Roisin Little. Roisin is our tech swing. So Roisin is responsible for the rain and the video, and is there then to support all of the other departments as well. Then we have Paige Leaf-Wright is our board op. Then we have Olivia Ward, who is our head of wardrobe. Then we have Amy Brand, who is our head of hair, wigs and makeup. And then we have Ellie Biddle, who is our follow spot. And so all of those people, bar Jem, Roisin, Paige and Ellie, have done the show before in London. So those 4 are new to the team. And what I found so incredible whilst doing this is that we've all come together, and although there are original people from the sisterhood there, um, everybody has come in and we have become a unit that literally move together in a way. So for an example, last week in Dublin, we had quite a few technical issues. And rather that being one person's problem, it became everybody's problem. And so we problem solved as a group, and the support is unwavering. And that might mean that, one person is under pressure, so somebody else picks up the slack in that department to ensure that we're still being able to run and make sure that we can give it a performance, at the highest level possible that night. And I've never quite seen teamwork like it. And to bring that into different venues and to say, right, this is how we work. This is this level of standard that we expect from everybody working on this show. It radiates. And we have gone into Richmond and we teched the show and we had 2 incredible performances, and we met these people, and suddenly their spirit and love has come with us to Dublin. And then we're in Dublin and we have all of, these issues and technical problems, but everybody there in the building was there to support us, and their hearts have come with us. And so it feels like we're just collecting all of this incredible energy as we move from each city and venue that supports us and fuels us as a team. And it's one of the most enjoyable and inspiring. I mean, I know I sound like an absolute cliche, but it really is to see the team being fueled by that, fueled by the story, by people's responses, by the audience, by Jodie's performance. All of that combined creates the most magical experience backstage, and we all take the mick out of each other and and have a giggle. I think the balance of that is just extraordinary. And yeah, I couldn't wish for a better team and a better experience. My job, I work a lot of hours. I have to run on the show, move it from venue to venue, do all the scheduling, look after the company. But I am looked after by them, and I know that I'll get home at the end of the night. We're all living together, which is an experience of itself. I know that I get home and there's a drink made for me, and there's some snacks, and
brilliant.
There's a bath run for me, or it's those tiny little things that I don't think anyone would ever experience. It's just making it absolutely mind-blowing.
Oh, I mean, that's a sign of a good company, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, do you know, I was thinking about because sadly in this country, I think a touring theatre or repertory theatres sadly declined in some ways. You barely see it anymore because that's how the people like the Derek Jacobys, the Maggie Smiths, the Ian McKellans, the Laurence Olivier's, that's how they made their living, by doing repertory theatre and doing 6 plays in 12 weeks or whatever it was, but multiple plays. One week, one night they're Henry the Fourth, the next minute they're Henry the Eighth, the night after that they're Hamlet, and I'm just like, then they're just alternating as they go along, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, that's talent, and that's impressive. But what's it like? I mean, when you've got a show of this size and you're just literally at the end of the night packing it all up into a bag and then just moving on to the next venue, pack it all in the truck and right, where are we going next? Edinburgh. I don't know which way you are now.
Edinburgh.
Yeah, we are now. What's it like being a touring theatre company?
It's hectic. I think it's a one-woman show, so everyone expects it to be small. We come with a lot. We also don't necessarily travel light in the best possible way. I think what's really important, and I think what each venue is starting to understand, is that the show is extremely delicate in every sense of the word. The set is very delicate. It's also very heavy. Every moment that we have in the show that is technical, the rain, the flying, the video, the sound, the music, the lighting, all of those things are the aspects that Jodie plays against. And so therefore, one of those sorts of things fail or don't necessarily work, that the understanding that is a massive deal, rather than if you're on a musical, and a spot doesn't come up or a light doesn't come up, you can kind of get through that without really anyone noticing or it really affecting the company on stage because they've got 27 other people performing with them. So when you're bringing a small play like this to the stage, it's about reminding everybody that fact and of going, we are also here playing on this stage, but in different ways. And that is through your follow spot. That is through the queuing of the show or the flying or the video. We are all playing a part of this to create what it is and to create that full roundedness that is required for a woman play. And so, going into every venue, I've been having advanced conversations with everybody in the venue to just talk about that and to talk about, how important it is at the end of the night that we do give the audience a beat and everybody's allowed to sit in their seats and just absorb what we've been doing with the show before we kind of act on the rest of the night and closing down. So it's been like a big learning curve in that sense, because obviously when you get to one building, if you're in London, you're there and everyone knows it, everyone gets into the groove. And so every single week we're having to reestablish that in every theatre. We've been so lucky in the sense, and I'm sure this is going to continue as we go on, that that has been welcomed with open arms and understood and appreciated. But yeah, we just to sort of give you a little outline of how we do a touring week. So we were obviously in Dublin last week, which was a big move because you're going out of the UK. Thank you very much, Brexit. And so therefore you have to carnet and list everything that you're moving from the UK over, which is a huge feat in itself because this show has a lot of stuff, as I've said. And then I arrive on a Monday. The crew travel on a Monday. I go into the venue, check everything is being set up okay. I have the knowledge of this show of like how the backstage needs to look, how on stage needs to look. And most of the people that are on the production side of it are new. So it's important for me to have that communication with them. I set the dressing rooms up, I set backstage up so that on a Tuesday, we can come in at 8 a.m. and get started in terms of making sure that we're ready for a performance that night. So, we have to relight it. We have to get all the dead set on the fly pieces. I have to teach the flies. We have to technically make sure that all of the sound levels are correct. And then obviously build the set and put everything in. So in that one Tuesday, we have a certain amount of time to get everything done. And then we reset and we do a show for that evening. And then we come in on a Wednesday and we have the most amazing schools consent workshop. So we have bringing everyone's invited and the schools consent project with us. So every Wednesday we have schools from the local area. They come in, they do a 2-hour workshop. It's like 45 minutes with the school's consent and then 45 minutes with everyone's invited. So they've combined their sort of workshops together. And then at the end of that, I do a little Q&A for the schools about things about the show because they've watched the performance, the NT Live performance, before coming and doing the workshop. So we do that. And then obviously the wonderful Lauren, who is also a part of our company. Lauren is the understudy Tessa. And we've been working then with Lauren on stage and getting Lauren, because obviously Lauren is new to the production, and so we spend time with Lauren on stage working through the show as we continue on, given that the fact that we only had a very short rehearsal period. Then we do all of our shows, and then on a Saturday I come in early. We start packing up before the matinee so that at the end of the night we put everything in boxes and hop off to the pub before having a day off and doing it all again.
Yeah, I mean, as you get in that pub, you're like, just give me everything. Just give me everything.
I mean, my body just goes, whoa.
And wow. You sit down, it's like it's like if you're in Dublin and like, mate, you just say to the guy behind the bar, mate, just keep bringing Guinnesses, just keep bringing them over.
Well, actually, the last night in Dublin, I because we'd been in quite a lot for a busy week, I just said to the team, find me somewhere with some music that I can just dance and let everything go. Yeah. And we did. We found an amazing bar. And we danced our little socks off until the early hours of the morning, which massively helped shake off the heavy week.
That's what you need, isn't it?
Just
a big shake off and just be like, yeah, that's what it's all about. Do you know? I'm reminded of there's a video going a bit viral now. Have you seen Hamnet yet?
We're going on Sunday night as a group. Yeah, I know. I don't think I'm quite ready for it. I'm a bit emotional this week, so I'm a bit like, oh gosh, I'm going to cry my eyes out.
Oh, Georgie, you've got Prima Facie and then Hamlet. Oh God. Okay. I won't say too much about it. I won't give it away. But I think for anyone who's listening to this or watching this, who's about to see it or thinking about going to see it, go and see it because it's a beautiful film. It's absolutely stunning, and visually, and the way that Chloe's directed it, the way that Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal's performance is absolutely wonderful. And I really hope she gets the Oscar. I think she's got it in the bag anyway. But I'm sure you'll agree with me after you go and see it. But I'm just saying, look, because you're a mum, Georgie, aren't you? Like you've got kids.
I'm a stepmom. Yeah.
Oh, stepmom. Sorry.
Yeah.
But if anyone who has had kids, any mums listening to this who've got young children, probably 14 or younger at the moment, just be prepared, okay?
Okay. Just bracing myself.
Okay, that's all I'll say. It takes you on quite the emotional roller coaster, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah.
I think, I know you're talking about something that happened at the end, and in terms of dancing and a video that you've seen, I think it's really important to highlight that as we went through rehearsals, before we started the day, we'd put some music on and get ourselves into the body for the day, and at the end of the day we would blast whatever song it goes around the group of what anyone wants, and we blast that song out and we dance and we just dance like no one's watching, shake out what we've been doing that day. And it really, really helps. It really helps to just sort of become you again, rather than everything that you've had to absorb or been through that day. You kind of just able to leave it at the door. And we do that still on stage every day. We have a little dance party with everyone just to sort of go, we're together, we've got this. And it's really lovely, brings us all together.
Indeed. Yeah, no, I know that because a friend of mine was one of the supporting artists in, I'll say, the final scene, and that's all I'll say. And, the video that people are seeing of Paul Mescal and Jessie holding up the guy who plays Shakespeare's son, and they're all just dancing around and stuff like that. And that's so important because a friend of mine who was there said they shot that final scene in the Globe for about 4 days, and it was 4 days and it's the penultimate scene in Hamlet and everything, and they've got to pretend it's like the first time they've ever seen this play and everything, and it's really intense and it's blah blah blah, and there's subtext for a certain person in the audience for watching it's impacting them more than others. And again, I'm not going to give it away because I will just talk about it for hours, but and she said it was like 4 days of like really intense, like, and the director's like, you've got to take yourself to a dark place. We need the tears. And it was like that for 4 days. And by the end of it, I think she said at one point, Jessie Buckley turned around and said, the director, okay, we're gonna go again, everybody. And she was like, oh God, we've got to do that again. We've got to do it again. And then, but anyway, by the end of it, they just, as you see in the video, they bring everyone out and they crank the volume up and they blast that song, and everyone's like, shake it off. Right.
Let it go.
Thank you so much for all your emotion for the last 4 days. Time to be you again now. But thank you so much.
Yeah.
For everything that you're doing. And do you know, I'm just reminded of, do you guys still have, because on the set you've got those massive tables and stuff. Do you guys still have family dinner on those tables?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we don't do it now, we're in the theatre, but we did in rehearsals. So every Friday, every Friday afternoon, or every Friday lunchtime, we have family dinner. And don't worry, Celia, if you're listening to this, my prop supervisor, we will cover the tables in a big tablecloth. And we get a big spread of food, and just sit together and acknowledge one another. I mean, we sat around and had lunch every day, but specifically a Friday was our family dinner.
Nice.
And we continued that tradition because it's so important to get to know each other as who we are as people. And I don't think most of the time, it doesn't always happen, but a lot of the time, you know, performers and tech and everyone is kind of separated and kept separate. And actually, you don't then get to know each other as human beings. And it's the opportunity to learn about people's lives and what experience and what their story is. And we did that a lot. And actually, we did A Complicated Woman at Empire Street, worked with Rebecca Lucy Taylor this time last year. Putting, well, a little bit, oh my God, a year ago, Christ. It was sort of April time. And the one thing that I learned and took on from that experience was before every performance, they would do a gratitude circle. Where everyone would stand in a circle and say what they were grateful for that day. And it could be grateful that they had the most amazing orange for breakfast. It can go anything from that to, I'm grateful my mum has now not got cancer anymore, or it could be however deep you're feeling that day. And so we took that on and we did that at family dinner, and we sat around and said, what are you grateful for today? And it just became something really special because we were able to sort of open up about what's going on in our own lives.
And I think just practicing gratefulness is huge, because it just, again, I've said this on previous episodes, but when you take that moment to think, what am I grateful for, you realize how lucky you are more than anything. And like you said earlier, like we live like pretty much in London, and we were able to go to the theatre whenever we can. And obviously, I know you're on tour at the moment, but you're on tour with a show which so many people have fought, and I mean literally fought with a capital F, by the way, to get tickets. And funny, there was a video going around on Instagram actually just now. I think it was probably last night actually, because you and Jodie at the stage door. I think there was a few people there who'd flown from Australia just to be there.
Yeah, I think we had a couple of people from Australia last night, from China, from Japan, who have flown all this way because they wanted to come and see the play, and so they made a trip of coming to do a tour of the UK. But yeah, the whole drive of it was to come and see the show.
Yeah,
mind blowing. Like, wow.
Yeah,
I thought traveling from Dublin was a big deal for me. And then you've got people who have like flown 24 hours come to the show. It's pretty incredible. But you're so right in terms of gratitude. And like, at the end of rehearsals, I actually put a post up on Instagram, which was about gratitude and about how, it really does unlock the fullness of life, and how important that is to recognize that, when you feel grateful, everything around you becomes amazing. And, and I'm so bad for it, of getting so stuck in my own head. And not sort of taking the time to look around me. And I think that's the one thing that I've noticed going back into stage management is I get the time to do that. I get to sit in a rehearsal room and look up and go, oh, wow. Yeah, I get to watch these people work. And I've been making sure I do that on a daily basis. And the one thing I do actually is, before we open the house, I look out at the theatres and say, we're so lucky to be here. I'm so grateful for the opportunity again.
Yeah, I mean, for a show of like, I remember Suzie actually saying this past week that she was there for the first night, I think, at the Pinter, and she said, right, the show's literally about to go up, and she thought, right, the show's like an hour and 40 minutes, say 2 hours or something like that. And I remember her saying, in about 2 hours' time, my career could either be made or it could be dead in the water. It could go either of one of two ways. And and obviously it was always going to go one way. It was always going to go up. Of course it was.
Mm.
But, the quality of the writing, etc. But, and it's always interesting. And, funny enough, again, Justin's episode that I listened back to, I just want to ask you about the first preview one night, because Justin talked about how I think after the first preview, if you get a good reaction, you're like, wow, okay, right. All that hard work and belief in this material was 100% worth it. And we were right to trust our instincts. But I remember him saying, because Justin, I know, worked a lot with Stephen Daldry, Billy Elliot, The Audience, Skylight, The Crown, etc. He's done so fucking much. And he talked about how, because of course you worked with Stephen, didn't you, on The Inheritance, and probably.
I worked with Stephen on every theatre show they've done, bar Billy Elliot and The Inspectacles. So yes, about eight times.
8 times, wow.
8 times.
Yeah. Guys, I need to get Stephen on here at some point. I've got so much to ask him. But
I bet.
Yeah, mate, honestly, I told him for about 3 hours. But Justin, he put him in the stalls one night for the first preview, and he said, "Right, just give me notes. Just tell me, is it anything that you want me to change? Just tell me. Just be honest." He was like, "Cool, gotcha." And then by the end of it, he said that he just heard this roar from the audience as it finished. And then he went to see you guys backstage, and you're all just so emotional. And he went up to Steve and I said, "Okay, cool. So any notes?" And he went, "I don't have any. You've got a hit."
No.
And I
know.
Yeah, I mean, that first night, tell me about that first night, because that must have been just like the joy of joys that we've got something huge here.
Well, we didn't really know that we did. I mean, we knew that it was special, but obviously, when you're doing an intense rehearsal period and then you're in tech for a week, you're in it. And so you can't really see the wood for the trees. You can't, you're like, we think it's good, but oh God, what an audience going to feel of it. And so I think also what was really special about that is, Justin and I have worked together now for 14 years.
Wow.
And we both started, I was an ASM and he was Stephen's associate, and we both started together sort of at the bottom, and continued to work in that way of really sort of honing our own crafts. And I remember us saying to each other one day, babe, it's going to be me and you're going to be directing, I'm going to be company managing, and it's going to be the two of us together. And it so happened to be Prima. So it came true. But I remember before the show, Justin and I were pacing up in the wing, just like walking, and everyone was like, "What is wrong with your two's nervous energy?" And we both said, "We've been waiting for this moment for over 10 years. This has been, for us, this is what we've been wanting to achieve. And we're finally here together to do it." And so for us, that meant so much. And, I still get nervous doing the show every night here. And I think, it's more about the fact of wanting to have a piece of theatre that you have so much respect for to make it work. And so those nerves are there to sort of do that. And I remember Justin going out and doing his speech and then him leaving to go and sit in the audience. And he just went, "Good luck, I love you." And I was like, "I'll see you on the other side." Closing that door and then them reopening it at the end. And there was all of us on the team huddled by the prompt desk, which is where the DSM calls the show, sobbing our hearts out, having just witnessed the most incredible performance. But also we done it, the roar of the audience, which it happened before. So as Tessa goes up to do the folder at the end, she puts her folder back in the wall, comes and sits down and is sat down in front of the tables. It was that moment on the first preview that the roar happened. So it happened before even the lights started coming up on the folders, and it lasted all the way until the blackout. And so every single one of us just sat there with these, with chills going through our body, going, "Oh my gosh, what? I've never experienced a reaction like that." And, the emotional response was both, we've done it, we've managed to achieve what we all wanted to achieve, but secondly, it is hitting in the audience in the way that we wanted. And it was amazing. And then Justin comes back, James comes back, Suzie, and suddenly all the creative team were in the wings just going, we've done it. But it was just so delightful, and to share this experience with a really, really close friend of mine like Justin's is such an honor.
Yeah.
I mean, for everyone, you know, I will say this over and over and over again. I am the luckiest company stage manager in the world. I have got the best producer who constantly supports from a level high up and in ways that you would never believe. You know, he comes in, he helps squeegee the floor, and he's there, you know, on his hands and knees as everybody else is doing, and gets, you know, mucks in and shows the support of the going, there isn't a job you're doing that I wouldn't do. And the respect of that is huge for a team. Like, that is, you know, you don't ever see that happen. But equally, it's the checking in, it's the being there to support, it's the face, it's the emails, it's the constant text messages of, are you all okay? What can I do to support? And to have that from the team at Empire Street is just so invaluable. And then, you know, all of the creatives came back, and that was the most joyous experience, because I know they've all been doing inter alia together that we've not been a part of. So we've obviously all had, you know, another shared experience, but them coming back and doing this, you know, having the support of them and then the support of the team, you know, I mean, I've got all angles of, there isn't anyone around me that I can't go to and say, you know, I need you at this moment. And that is just phenomenal. Gosh. Absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, that's like, that's a moment that's seared into your brain for for 1,000 lifetimes. I mean, the fact that, at the end, like, she just puts the folder back and already the audience are clocking, okay, that's the end. But they want to give thanks before they've even, before the show's even finished, you know, and...
I mean, it changes every night. I mean, you know, I think what's really been exciting, what's been really interesting, here, is actually at the blackout, there has been a pause. And the pause before the applause is the moment of collaboration for the audience. And so that on the other side of it is just as telling to how the story has affected people. So it's been really interesting to see how the end of the show is received in different cities. And, you know, I think it's happened a couple of times since we've been in Edinburgh, and you can really feel the heaviness and the weight that is just sitting in that moment of silence before it happens, and both equally, you know, give you that sort of understanding. But for a first preview for that to happen was just mind-blowingly extraordinary.
I was just thinking actually last night, is like that silence, it can either be one of two things. It can either be a silence of, what the fuck was that? That was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. It's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back. But on the other side, it's like, oh my God. Like it's either or.
How do I respond to that? You know, because I think also on a play like this, you know, in moments of the heaviness of the script, you know, people don't want to respond because of how that might be taken. And, you know, I think some people think an applause at the end of a play like this, or saying, oh my God, I really loved it. Some people feel that isn't necessarily the right response, because even though, you know, you do love it and you do enjoy it, you know, how it makes you feel at the end of it isn't necessarily joy. It is, like, you know, it's hard hitting. It
hits you. I think remember Bryan Cranston talking about, you know, and I don't mean to make a dig at American theatre now or anything, but he said that, you know, sadly, I think in America, he said that it's become a bit commercialized now in some ways. So if you go and see a play and the play's absolutely terrible, you don't get it at all, and people will still rise to their feet on Broadway and go, oh wow, what a fantastic piece of theatre, oh my God, that was amazing. But he sat there going, what are you clapping for? That was awful. And I think, you know, if I may say so as a Brit, I think we have that advantage. If we haven't enjoyed something, there's always that polite applause.
Well done.
Well done. Thank you. Can I leave now, please? Okay, thank you. And then you go out and you say to your friends, Jesus Christ, that was not a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, but with that, I think another. Obviously, I wish I was there for that. I mean, that must have been some moment at the end of the first preview.
Mm.
But I was lucky enough to see A Little Life in the theatre. I was lucky enough to
Mm.
sit on stage as well, which was very, very cool. And there was a moment at the end of that, the lights just went. They did the last line, and it was just like, and the lights went boom, and you were just there in that
Yeah.
silence, and you could feel everyone just go, like you say, how do I respond to that? How do you?
Mm.
But not only have we just seen something incredible, but you're just there, like,
Mm.
and I remember, yeah,
Holding that shock. Yeah.
I remember just walking to. I remember I couldn't really speak properly for the rest of the day. I mean, it's similar to my reaction to Prima Facie actually the first time. I remember just thinking I couldn't speak properly for the rest of the day. They said, "How was the show?" People said, "How was the show?" And I went, "I, I don't have the words. I don't,
Yeah.
when you walk, yeah, oh my God, yeah."
I know.
And I know you're going to keep inspiring people. And just for the record, I say, like, you say that you're the luckiest stage manager or company manager to have these people around you, but I don't think it's luck, Georgia. You deserve it. You do.
Thank you.
You do deserve it. And it's very clear you do incredible work. Your enthusiasm for your work and everything is just, I could feel it. I know we're talking through a computer screen right now, but I know I've met you a few times now, and you feel it. And I feel like the way the universe works and everything is that it rewards, always rewards gratitude, kindness, happiness, and support for others, as well as supporting yourself, which I know you do, all
Yeah.
five, and a lot more in huge amounts, and we bless you for it. So thank you. I know we're a bit pushed for time, because I know you've got a 2-show day today, and you need to get off and get prepared for all that. Just got a few more things for you.
Yes, let's do it.
So very quickly, I know you mentioned last time that you were dabbling with some writing. How's that going?
Not very well. I mean, look, I am still trying to work on it. I think I've had to put everything aside whilst I'm on tour,
Of course.
because I don't get the space and the time to do it. But yeah, I think the creative development for myself is something that I am wanting to drive through for the rest of this year. I'm very interested in working with some people I've met along the last couple of years whilst I've been in the role of a general manager. And I think the writing side of it is something that my mum and I have been trying to do together at long distance. And actually, hopefully, my mum and I will be spending more time together as we buy our first house in London.
Wow.
So, yeah, moving back in with the mama.
Nice.
And so hopefully that will give us the opportunity then to be able to spend some more time together in the downtime that I have to develop some of that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, it's never too late more than anything,
No, absolutely.
Never too late at all. Yeah. Should I say this? Yeah, I'll sod it. Why not? I've written something and I've sent it to James, actually. So,
amazing.
yeah. So I met him on Wednesday and I said, look, I've got this thing. And like, just to be clear, James, I know I said this to you on the night. If you're listening, I know you're really busy right now. So whenever you can, just please, and give me feedback. And all suggestions welcome. I'm not going to be precious about it at all. So if you say something can be better, please do tell me. But anyway, that's one for the future. Let's see what happens. But yeah, let's see what else is there. I've got
That's wicked.
First preview. Oh yeah, just two more things. Yeah, I say two more things. It might be three, but I'll make it quick. So I know your company's. I know you're stage manager now. You step back into those shoes for a bit now, but I know you're still GM of Empire Street Productions now, and you've been the GM for, was it 4 years now?
No, only where are we? 2.5.
Oh, 2.5. Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, how's I know, and since our last conversation, I know you were GM in our last chat. How's it been the last 2 years? What has that role done for you, and how do you think you've adapted to it, and what's it done to you? How's it changed you? Or how's
been
it
the biggest learning curve of my life.
Yeah, nice.
I think it's been really exciting because it's a different side of theatre that as a freelancer you never get to really sort of penetrate in, like, understanding how a business runs. And I think that's sort of something that I had to get my head around, is that it's a business. Running commercial theatre is a business, and so therefore you have to understand the runnings of that. And as a GM, that is something that is quite important in the role, of just understanding how to put a contract together, how to put a budget together, how putting teams together. And so I've really found that interesting, and I feel like it's taken me 2 years to really understand it. It's very different to how my brain has to work in stage management, and so it's just been about trying to figure out how to switch over to that. But what I've really, really loved is actually having the opportunity to work with stage management teams in a different level, and offering the support from the knowledge of what it is to be a freelancer, and to, prep a show in a way that is in aid of them rather than making more work. And I think that's what I've really enjoyed trying to figure out. And also being given the opportunity at Empire Street to expand our well-being, and we now have Wibria King and Fabi, who is our osteopath physiotherapist, both come on as wellness associates at Empire Street Productions, who now basically are a part of our core team that do every show that we do, and to sort of help develop that and develop our policies within the company to make sure that we are supporting everybody that comes on board. And just to sort of do a shout out earlier on, at the end of last year, trying to think where we are in the calendar, there was an incredible I think it was more of a sort of display of work that had been put together, and it was basically it was about women's health in theatre. And it was run by people at Wessex Grove and Amy Belcheck, who is now actually working for Empire Street Productions. Basically bringing people together from different parts of theatre and holding spaces for them to be able to talk about their experiences as a woman and the health issues that you have to go through, and how working in theatre can really work against that at times. Unfortunately, I've been through quite a horrific 6 months in terms of my own personal women's health, and so to be able to see this and see that things are being done and it's being spoken about really was important to me. And so therefore I've been able to kind of work with Empire Street to then implicate that into the shows that we're doing. And it's so important to acknowledge that, there are so many different health issues, but also that women every single month have to go through this repeatedly, and how we can make allowances in the schedules that we are putting together, or just the spaces that we hold, or how we're able to give people the space to be able to sort of deal with that. And so it's been an amazing experience for me to help build on that in the company with Jane.
Fantastic. Brilliant. There's bigger and better things coming, man. That's good. Yeah. But of course it always is. Yeah. But just quickly then, how are you now? Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you. I'm on a road to recovery.
Good.
It's long, but it is. I am doing well. Thank you.
Good. That's what we like to hear more than anything.
Yeah.
And let's see how much time we got. Okay, we've got 5 minutes. First, Georgie, thank you so much. I mean, unfortunately, we're going to have to. I've still got one more question left for you, but just before we finish, to say thank you very much for your time. As always, it's an absolute joy to have you back. And I appreciate you coming out of your very, very busy schedule right now on tour with Prima and everything. So just thank you for today and for your time, and good luck with the rest of the run as well. I know you've got a few more cities to go to, and I know you're finishing in Liverpool in sort of the end of March and everything. Now that'll be something special as well, I'm sure.
Yes.
But yeah, and of course you've got a 2-show day today, so best of luck with that. Have a nice bath this evening for me. Okay?
Yeah, well, we've got a 2-show day and then a load out, so we'll probably get out of here just before midnight.
Okay.
And then, as I said, head to the pub.
We head to the pub. 4 tequila shots.
Each.
Too many bottles of Prosecco. I love it. It's so funny. You can quote when you've got a great play. You just quote it in life, don't you?
We talk about. Every single day someone is quoting a line backstage, because it is literally just a part of everyone's everyday life, this show.
It really is. Fantastic. And anyway, so just to finish today, the last question for part 2 guests is simply this: what makes you happy?
Gosh, what a big question. What makes me happy? I think I touched on it a little bit earlier, but what makes me happy is being around people.
Nice.
I love interacting with others and learning about their experiences, or just, absorbing other people. I think it's really, really special. And it just makes me so happy to be around um, so many different personalities. I mean, that's one of the best perks of the job, right? Is that
Yeah.
you get to come into work every day and you meet all these different people, and that makes me extremely happy to just connect and be supported and have fun with people.
Yeah.
That's what makes me happy. And dogs.
Dogs. Oh, don't get me started. Yeah.
And dogs. I mean, yeah, I think there's so much that makes me happy. I've got an amazing husband. I've got an amazing family.
Fantastic.
I've got the most incredible group of friends, and I think, that's what makes me really happy. Just the
Brilliant.
simple things.
Yeah, it's the simple things. They mean a lot.
And a Red Bull on a two-show day. Don't tell my mum; she'll kill me.
Gives you wings, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It is bad for your health, kids. But
Yes,
let me
don't
tell
drink Red
you.
Bull. And neither should you, Georgie. Drink coffee instead. It's better for you. It's cheaper as well. Coffee's cheaper than Red Bull. Red Bull's expensive these days.
I know, and I've been getting in a lot of trouble drinking Red Bull over this tour.
Yeah, just drink
Yeah, my
coffee.
mum. I do. I drink coffee, but anyway, it doesn't give me the hit that I need to get clarity for the big day.
Yeah, just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Right?
I will. I promise.
We promise. You're gonna drink one tonight, aren't you? Anyway, Georgie, this has been it's been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No, you're fantastic, and I look forward to more chats with you in the future, and everything in between. So just you deserve everything because you're just brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
No. I'm just telling the truth, mate. I'm telling the truth. Anyway, so if you just hang on, I'll finish the recording. We'll have a tiny debrief, then you can shoot off to your two-show day. And
Amazing.
best of luck to break a leg tonight and this afternoon.
Thank you.
I'm sure it'll be brilliant as always. But yeah, in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This has been the Uncensored Critic podcast. I'll be back very, very soon. And Georgia Birds, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.